I'm going to cover a number of things here as I can remember them. First, I'm going to start off with a couple of things from an earlier video. Now, I was talking about Jan Ross. Now, the Jan Ross here in the Phoenix area had a bookstore. She's been gone for a number of years. Now, I did a search her on YouTube. Now, there's a Jan Ross, a different Jan Ross that was a wife of MMA fighter, something like that. But that's a completely different Jan Ross. Now, this Jan Ross had two twin daughters. Uh, they were running a bookstore in Glendale somewhere. Now, there is a New Age bookstore in Glendale, but that's a different story. It had nothing to do with these two daughters. Now, I don't know if this store is still a business or not. So many places have been closed because Amazon just put them out of business. So I don't know if those daughters are still end up, the New Age metaphysical thing. Hey, and they get this video, they leave a comment here, and maybe we can get together and make some videos, or not, whatever. You may not have any interest in making a video with me. I got no idea. Um, Now, next thing I'm going to cover now is Jesus and reincarnation. Now, let me give you this story. Now, it goes back to Constantine. Now, he was one of the emperors of Rome. Um, Now he was a Roman soldier, the general. Now, as the story goes, he had prayed to the Christian God, and he had made a deal that if he did become emperor, he would embrace the God of Christianity, and that's what he did. Now, the Council of Nicaea, that was in 326 or 329 AD, something like that. Now, as the story goes, that was when they was putting the books of the Bible together. Now, that's historical fact. You can look up the Council of Nicaea. That's a historical fact. Now, one story that I heard, now I don't know if this is true or not, but Constantine had found out in an earlier life he had been a real slut, a prostitute like that, and that he really didn't want that to get out. So he had all reference to reincarnation removed from the Christian Bible as they were putting it together. Now, again, I don't know if that's true or not, just a story that I heard. Now, there is, some of what Edgar Casey, now, if you look up Edgar Casey, he was a big believer. He was a hardcore Christian, but he was also a big believer in reincarnation. If you read any of Edgar Casey's works, you can look up Edgar Casey. He's pretty well known. He wrote quite a number of books. He's been dead for almost 100 years now, but like I said, he was a big believer in reincarnation. But he had said that you can interpret the Bible a number of different ways to say that Jesus believed in reincarnation or not, depending on how you want to interpret a lot of the Bibles like that. The next thing I'm going to cover completely different. Now, this is Fran. This is their YouTube channel is Fran Lab. There's also Mr. Carlton's lab. Both deal with older electronics. Now, in one of Fran Lab's videos, they've got a piece of Heathkit. Heathkit made two different types of electronic devices. Some of them were actual kits. You bought all the parts and you put them together yourself, and some of them are pre-assembled devices. Now, one thing that Franz Lab were talking about in the last video, there was a number of these. The back of some of the different electronics magazines from the 60s and 70s. I remember some of these. Now, they were hang on. These electronic courses, you could subscribe to them. I remember two or three of these. Heathkit was one of them. Heathkit, you just bought a nice kit with, through Radio Shack. You just bought the kit and you assemble it yourself. Now, there was some of these electronics courses that you could build like a voltmeter, like a radio, like TV, a number of different electronic devices. Some of these were kits, some of these were courses. You just perfectly pay for them, and they would send you stuff, and then you would. I think you would build the voltmeter first, and a signal generator, then a radio, then a TV set. This is back in the days when electronics was cool. You could build their kits. Now, I mean, you don't do that today. They're so sophisticated that a lot of stuff is what they call SMA, surface mount. SMA, surface mount. That stands for something, but anyway, it's so tiny that it's fairly specialized, and without specialized equipment, it's kind of hard to do. Let's see, I was going to cover one more thing here, and I don't remember what it is. I'll save it for a future video. That was back in the days when electronics was cool. Okay, love y'all. Bye bye.